What you won't do for Hosh. You tried everything, but you don't get Hosh. Welcome to another episode of The Dissection. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm introducing a new thing. I'm introducing a Hosh level meter. A Hosh level meter, because sometimes the Hosh Kari has to be gradiated. It has to be scaled. The Hosh Kari alert of the week. So the Hosh Kari behavior of the week. You know how they got donkey of the week and mampara of the week. I think we need some kind of Hosh Kari scale. The Hosh Kari scale, the HKS. So here are the Hosh levels. You've got mild, right, which is below 3.0 Hoshville. We got medium, between 3 to 20,000 Hoshville, right? Then you got hot, Hosh hots. That's between 20,000 to 100,000 Hoshville. Then there you got HOSHIRI max. HOSHIRI max. We got to do it. So who are the contenders and why are the contenders the contenders? Right. So let's start with Sunday Times. You know, I've been observing Sunday Times for a bit. And I've been observing them because I've been trying to ascertain how they're going to handle the Madlanga Commission, how they're going to handle the ad hoc committee. Now, if you look at what Mail and Guardian did, right? Mail and Guardian posted something here and they said, Begitele buries Mkhunu, or something to that effect. And effectively, their reporting was consistent with what millions of South Africans saw themselves. That when Begitele came onto the podium on Thursday and on Friday, the person who was most lethally affected by that, Begitele took some wounds as well. As he was, rebutting and refuting the narrative of Mkhunu, he obviously implicated himself in a few ways because he said, I know Vusi Matlala, I've been at his house, I took some freebies from Vusi Matlala. But in the same vein, he was actually also able to dismiss one of the key arguments that was made by Senzo Mkhunu, particularly that he could disband the IMC, ignore the IMC, and disband the political killings task team without going through some particular due process. Begitele was the police minister right before him. The other thing that Begitele was able to do quite effectively was to say that what's this thing called? The political killings task team was very effective. And he was also able to make the argument quite effectively that you don't disband something simply because the incidents that it was designed to reduce have reduced. You still have to prevent those things from recurring. So for instance, if you were eating a lot of burgers, right, and then you gain weight, when you lose weight, you don't start eating a lot of burgers again because then you are resuscitating the problem. So he spoke about how the fact that there are lower levels of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal is now a result of the fact that the task team is working, not that the task team is not working. That was quite damaging to Senzo Mkhunu. Then he spoke about the political aspirations of Senzo Mkhunu and how Vusi Matlala confided in him that, there was this ambition or campaign or program to try to get Senzo Mkhunu either to deputy president or president of the ANC and hopefully South Africa. Begitele was also able to provide critical information around other people who know Vusi Matlala, have relationship. He didn't drop names per se, but he was able to indicate that Vusi Matlala Wetsamanyala is quite integrated and enmeshed within the conduct of the ANC. So when you look at that, I don't know if it's fair to then do what the Sunday Times did. The Sunday Times gave Begitele Mampara of the Week. Mampara of the Week. In a week where there were so many contenders, they still went ahead and gave it to Begitele because he said he took freebies. I thought that was unfair. I thought it was unwarranted. I thought, if anything, you're going to give Mkhunu Mampara of the Week because, number one, he's still insisting on this definition of immediately. Number two, he has been burnt by the testimony of Bheki. And no matter how you try to slice it, nowadays, the public is paying attention themselves. They don't need a newspaper to tell them how to think. When I last checked, the views of Bheki on the first day were over 500,000 on the SABC YouTube platform alone. Then if you add the other platforms, SMWX and all of the other ones that were covering it, people were watching on the parliamentary account, those views add up to millions. Then you add the people who watch the analysis and commentary on YouTube, on my page, on other people's pages, that also is well in the hundreds of thousands. And it's peculiar to make the argument that therefore Bheki is Mampara of the week. The other person who tried to make an argument, which was bizarre, was this editor, I think, from the, News 24, saying that Bheki was incoherent. Incoherent where everybody who watched Bheki was able to understand his arguments. He was able to display a wide range of information on matters of policing, explaining the ranks, explaining the history, explaining what he was told by Interpol in 1994, explaining why we've seen the kind of problems we've seen in political infiltration by these kind of Hosh-Kari syndicates, and a plethora of other things that he explained quite clearly, right? Coherently. Now, if you were paying close attention to Bheki, there's no way that he would, look, he was performing it. He's a colorful character and he was enjoying it because you could tell Bheki has been waiting. You know, he flew in with his own money. He didn't even need no tickets, no nothing. He was like, I'm going there. I'm going there. And I'm going to spill the beans. I'm going to cook. There was this, somebody made an AI thing of Bheki cooking. I'll try to see if I can find the image and post it. But that was something that was just hilarious to observe. So he went there to cook. And a lot of MPs just leaned back and they let him cook. You cooked Ashley Souls. He was cooking everybody. But one thing he was not was incoherent. So it doesn't make sense, therefore, to award him Mampara. Mampara. Are you hoping that people didn't watch, or are you trying to manufacture consent? Are you trying to say he's incoherent in the hope that people didn't watch, or are you trying to manufacture consent? I think media voices need to be quite critical of themselves and reflective of themselves, because the public is not going to follow you like sheep anymore. It doesn't happen like that. People think for themselves, they think freely. And who was it? Bob Marley, the legend, said, don't let them fool you. Don't let them school you. You got a mind of your own. So this type of narrative that Bheki is, Mampara of the week, that deserves Hoshirium Maximus 17. Hoshirium Maximus 17, 2 terabytes. That's what you get. Nah, that's some Hosh-Kari behavior. Now, the other person I thought was a contender for Hosh-Kari behavior is the hotel owner. The owner of the house on the hill, the White House on the hill. Why do I say this? Guys, there's an ad hoc committee in Parliament. There's a Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, a judicial commission. If you're an implicated person and you wish to clear your name, owners of White Houses on the hill, what you don't do is threaten people. So call people. How did you get their numbers? Violating the Poppy Act, violating their consent to make threats. That's Hosh-Kari behavior. That's Hoshiriam. That is Hoshiriam. You can't slice it and dice it any other way. Trying to threaten people in a climate where witnesses are hiding. Witness A, B, and C are hiding because they're afraid of being killed. They've been intimidated. They are at risk. People have had bullets sprayed into them because of this saga. So if you're implicated, anybody who's an implicated person, let's talk PR. Here's what you need to do. You on the Hosh-Kari alert if you don't behave like this. Go and say, I've been mentioned. Say it to Madlanga, write a letter. Hello, Madlanga. I've been mentioned. Commissioners, I've been mentioned. No emojis necessary here. Please, can I come through and give my side? I am a legitimate hotel owner. I booked out my hotel on these days. These people came. I have no idea what they were talking about. I was not involved in their affairs. That's it. When you speak to journalists, you say the same thing. Either you say no comment or you give your version. I'm a legitimate business owner. These people came. I don't know these people. I don't know this other guy. I am not affiliated in any sense or shape or form with what, witness A was talking about. What you don't do is quiet. Hey, what Jimmy? Jimmy. I'm going to send people to deal with you. The devil is a lie. The devil is a liar. The devil, we're dealing with powers and principalities here, but the devil is still a liar. The devil is still a liar. Ngeke with that kind of an approach. If you have been implicated, go and do what Brown Kotsi was doing. Talk to Brown if you know Brown. Say, Brown, where did you... And by the way, where's Brown? Brown, where are you, Baba? We miss you, Manelo. Where are you? Brown, envelope Kotsi. We miss you, Manelo. Where are you? They're trying to break our spirit, but they won't break our spirit because they didn't build our spirit. And even if they take our flesh, they can't break our spirit because it's divine spirit. We have to give people who are calling journalists, media, podcasters, threatening them. What is this yoke of money? Pay for PR. Pay for PR. Do PR. Do real PR. Huh? Wasting lawyers' money for fake defamation things. Haibo. So that's another HOSHIRI. HOSHIRI Max. Those are the two contenders. I don't know. Who do you think wins? If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We're aiming for 130 subscribers by the end of 130,000 subscribers by the end of November. Let's push. Let's see what we can do. All right, this is a segment of trying out HOSHIRI alert. Let's see who else is a contender for HOSHIRI behavior of the week. Do you have nominees? Tell me in the comments before I end. I'm just going to think quickly. Who else is a contender? Shibiri is not a contender because he didn't do anything this week, but Shibiri. Oh, yes. Maybe we have a contender for HOSHIRI behavior. Acting judge president was asked to take special leave, right, of another kind because he was mentioned in ways that I think were questionable by witness B. Witness A also mentioned this, and now they've corroborated the testimony of General Mkonazi and others that something's happening with the bail, the Molefe bail in particular. Oh, yeah, and Gwachu also is a contender. HOSHIRI alert, although this behavior didn't happen this week. But the man was visiting Molefe with tracksuits for Molefe, bringing him Adidas or Puma. What was the brand that he was with? These are contenders, but that behavior didn't happen this week. But Aubrey Ledwaba, the acting judge president, was asked by Mandi Samaya to take special leave because of all of these things implicating you. He said, Andizi will special leave. I need to judge some more cases. I need to be on standby in case there are bank records that need to be sealed. That's not what he said. I'm just kidding around. These are jokes. But he didn't take the special leave. So I don't know where that stands. Maybe that's mild. Below 3,000 Hoshville. Maybe that's mild Hosh behavior. What do you think? Guys, I'm going to catch you in the next one. I got big episodes planned for the week. Won't stop, can't stop. Because this is a God thing. It's a God thing. You can't stop a God thing with some earthly tactics. Nah, you can't do that. Till the next one, I'm going to catch you.